I was thinking for a second. All right. So today we're gonna do obviously, yeah. And I was thinking about doing this list for a while, and I was wondering, wait a minute. I guess you got any ideas. Why won't you do the PS1? I mean, I could, but I really don't have all of them physical, to be honest. And to be honest, like if you want to do that, I would tell them, and I'll just record gameplay footage. But at the moment, yeah, let me get that one set up because to be honest, I have it really simple and I probably could do it. But I'm like, to be honest, I want to do physical, because, to be honest, having physicals makes it easier for I don't have to put gameplay footage. It's not that I'm lazy about it. It's just like I could do it. It's just like it's more about physical and I could describe it. Because like everybody's seen all these games anyway, so what's the point of me recording game footage of them? So I could just show you them. But yeah, so these are my top 10 favorite games. I'm gonna tell you something. In this top 10, there will not be no Final Fantasies in them. And don't get me wrong, 10 is I like 10, but I was thinking about like where would I put it? Like it's not in the top 10, you know. But I'm like, to be honest, like I can honorably mention it because I do have it right here. Final Fantasy X is pretty good. I love the water aspect, that very islandy, very tropical. It has that very tropical kind of thing to it. So yeah, I do have it here. So this is an honorable mention. So it made it into the top 11. 12 on the other hand, kind of like, I don't know. Like it's fun, but it's just like, this one seemed really good. And that's why I'm including it. So there's the bonus one for today. It's fun. I've never really finished it, but I have played it and I like it as much. But it doesn't go towards these ones, these top 10s. So yeah, here we go. And number 10 is a game that it took me so long to buy it. I remember I used to go to this my local game store. And I would look at it every time. And I love the series. I played some of the games in the series. This one I was always so curious about, and I just never actually picked it up. And I really wanted to pick it up, but I just never did. I would look and look until one day I remember this. I said, "No, I'm picking it up. I'm picking it up." I said, no, I know exactly what I'm going in there for, because every time I go in there, I like to look around, talk with the staff and all this stuff, and it's really fun. And so, yeah, but when I went, I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick it up. And then when I picked it up, I was like, yeah, this is pretty fun. It's very slow in the beginning. Let's just say that it's a very slow game. And that's Xenosaga. The beginning is very cinematic, which I enjoy cinematic stories. That's the one thing that brought me to it. Is it's very slow. The combat, it takes a little bit used to it because you want certain things. But like in each RPG, the combat is very different. They want it to be good, even though it's turn-based system, but they still want that kind of classy ass difference to it. So yeah, very fun game, very beautiful game. The music is so good. I'm almost done with it, which is so good. That's why I added it too. As I was like, really, like, yeah, this is a fun game. It's very story driven, which I like. RPGs are very known for story driven games. Some are. They're on them back. Like once we hit into like, I feel like the PlayStation. I felt like ever since Final Fantasy VII came out, the stories were more epic, and then they were like, we got to make cinematic games. And yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, and it is right there, very beautiful. There's no manual, but it's fine. Pick this up, you can find it. It's really fun. I want to continue on with the rest of them, but this one was always on my radar for like, I want to say over a year, and I just never picked it up. And I know about the story, and I thought it was just so great. It was like, some of the stuff in it, very mech, sci-fi kind of thing. Well, that's what the Xeno, series is known for. They're big old mechs, and how they continue on to them. So, yeah, this is a really fun game. Let's continue on. This one will shock people that it's very low, but you know what? This one was very fun. Growing up playing this game, like the rest of these that you're gonna be seeing, are gonna be ones that I grew up on playing. Well, maybe one. No. Actually, there's one that I recently, maybe a couple of years ago, I fell in love with it. So yeah, but a lot of these other ones that are coming up are like memory, and I feel bad to put this one on the low, but it makes the other ones way better. Like, to be honest, this one should be in the top 3 or 4, but because like they came out with way better ones. I don't play this one as much, but this one is here for memory and nostalgia and all this stuff. And of course, it's one of the pioneers of the open world genre, and that is Grand Theft Auto 3. It is fun. Like, I just, the mayhem and the chaos is all starting here. Like, I like to go, this is what, like, yes, I have finished the game years ago, and I remember towards the end of the game, don't spend all your money until you finish the game. Because once you do that last level, you need to acquire, I think it's like $10,000 or something. Like, you need this huge amount to get to the final level. So don't do that like I did, or me and my sister did, and we pretty much wasted that money. So we were doing random stunts, taxi driving, just random chaos, mayhem missions, which is in a way, that's what I feel like, that's what also the developers want you to do. Is there are side missions, there's side challenges, do a lot of races. Hey, come over here, help me do this mission so you can get extra stuff. So, but yeah, it's a fun game. This is very nostalgic, very fun game to play, and it does come with a manual, so it is cool. This is Midnight Street, man. This is such a like. There was so many good like the PS2, man, is so jarring, full of like, there's just like which ones you do, but I calculated the ones I really liked, and yeah, this is a pioneer of its time. It is sounds the greatest, and soon we will get a new one whenever they want to release it, which I'm not in a hurry, because I got so many good, like, I'm 100% sure that if you wanted to binge watch all of the games, I'm talking about all of them, starting back from the original PlayStation 1, all the ones, binge watch on it should probably take you about a year to beat all of them. So, and that gives you enough time to be prepped, ready for GTA 6. So, yeah. This one is a really fun game, and I started, like I remember playing this when I was younger and enjoying it and loving it. A buddy of mine, he got me, like, I kind of was just like getting out of that Call of Duty first-person shooter burn. So a buddy of mine was like, he got me back into it. And the first game that I picked up, which I love, this is a first person shooter, and it really is good. I just fell in love with it, and it's very low to the shooter. This is the only first person shooter on this list of the PS2, and then, like, yes, don't get me wrong, there was some really bangers. Yeah. Oh no, there was another one coming, so there are 2, but this one is pretty fun. I enjoy it. Not a lot of people may like it, but it's not. And that's Red Faction. It does not have a case for it. Some of them, I just, like, I'm not a true, like, if it's like a Red or a Spine or Greatest Hits, all that stuff. As long as they have the game, that's all that matters. I'm not like a true, like, it needs to be perfect. Because in reality, is down the line, if I'm 100% down the line, and I'm like, I want to get rid of these and, pick up some new ones, I'm going to trade them in, so. But yeah, I have a lot of this, like, the ones I have are the ones I really want to keep, but some of them, like, because I have multiple copies of this one. I have it on, yes, we're living in a world where everything is slowly going to digital. There are some that are not, but slowly everything's going to digital. But yeah, this is a fun game. It has the corniness that will continue on within the Saints Row series, even bringing up memory, like Ultor and all this stuff. It's just like all this, like, the 2 games seem like they're very connected with each other. So Saints Row and then the Red Faction games kind of have Easter eggs towards each other, which I think is really brilliant, to be like, they're in the same, the Red Faction and the Saints Row universe are in the same universe. And even if there is one ending in Saints Row 3 where you can be like you are playing a scene from Red Faction in this game. So in a way, it's kind of like, so is it like a canon based off of it? Like sometimes based off a movie, because there is a movie to Red Faction, to it, and it is pretty. It's not as good, but it's corniness, and it's the Red Faction series. But yeah, it is really cool to have, oh, definitely around here, have it. Yeah. So that comparison between Red Faction, and I'm pretty sure you already saw the next one. Next one is a James Bond game. Now, don't get me wrong, I love GoldenEye, but like I said, a buddy of mine, he was just like, "Yo, we gotta play these ones, pick these games up," and yeah, so. And it is fun to go back. The thing about it is like go back and play some old school games where it's not like before, where it's just like, oh, we gotta put microtransactions and all this stuff. I'm like, no, if you wanted microtransactions, I mean, they had that stuff. You have to realize that if they microtransactions been around forever. It's just like they are expansion packs. But they used to come in physical stuff. So yeah, the James Bond games are really fun, but. We live in a time where it's just like everything is all microtransactions, all digital, which is, to be honest, is fine. It's a lot easier, but people just like want physical media. I'm like, in reality, it's just like in 100 years, what's going to happen to all this stuff? What are you going to do with all this stuff? Like around there, like in my opinion, I'm like, hopefully, because I got a nice Dragon Ball collection, and hopefully my daughter will enjoy that work, because down the line it's going to be like, hopefully she's been telling me, please, let me keep it. And I'm like, I got the books, I got the games, I got the figures for you. What else you want? I got them. You can watch every damn season, every movie. I got those all. So yeah, but yeah, off topic. Yeah, a buddy of mine was like, yo, you gotta get this one. It's one of the best. And I said, all right. So I popped it in, playing it. But then we hopped into the multiplayer, and the multiplayer was so much fun, especially with you have 2 players with the bots, and you just ramp up the difficulty on that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, 007 Agents Under Fire is really fun. It is nuts, really, really nuts. So, there's another James Bond game in there, but yeah, this is the one that we were enjoying the most out of. It was the multiplayer is so cool. This is the thing about it, is just first person shooters aren't just known for the multiplayer. If you have nowadays this code, if you have multiplayer, if you make it a first person game, 90% of the time you have to put multiplayer. Yeah, there are a few that aren't. Metroid Prime is an example of just a first person adventure story. But yeah. Sorry, but some of them you need to, this is the thing, it all started back with GoldenEye, when you played the multiplayer on the GoldenEye. The multiplayer is fun, the story it's a cheesy James Bond, and then it got Pierce Brosnan in here, having his lookness back on here. This one was pretty good too, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about this one because I recently got it this, I want to say last year, and it's fun. Pick up this if you want it. They're usually dirt cheap. I don't know. I got mine for $10. Dirt cheap game. Pick it up. It's fine. Next one is like I said, I'm a very story driven kind of a person, and as this story, I would play something. I'll play the story to go to sleep because the music is so perfect. I'll listen to the story when I fall asleep sometimes, because man, the story is so good. Which is shocking because it is a very combat kind of a game, but it's just the story is just that calm music in the background. It's so good, and that's Ace Combat 4. Yeah, I got it for the story, which I could you can play on, but no, the combat is fun. The mission is flying around. I used to enjoy I haven't seen Top Gun in a while. I haven't even seen the new Maverick one, which I don't know. I've just been very busy and just eh. But yeah, Ace Combat 4, man, it's fun. The story is... Sound like it was... This is the one thing about living so close to like a park and all that stuff. It's just like every kids are, kids and all that stuff are gonna be around. So it's just like, yeah. But yeah. All right, yeah. Continuing on with this, but yeah, the combat is fun. The flying is perfect. Yes, there are other ones that are better, but it's just like, I enjoy the story, just like that thrill of it. Yes, it is a little challenging. At first, you gotta get used to it. Certain things you gotta do. You gotta watch out for enemies. Make sure you're doing it right. But yeah, it's it's a flying simulator. Like I bought it for the story. And yes, I know that you could watch the story on YouTube, but it's fine. But also, the story was driven me to be like, let me play the game, and it's fun. It's arcade style flying simulation, and it's fun. Will I play any of the other ones? I did try 7, and I remember, I don't know. I might. That's the thing about, like, when you try it, and then down the line, like, let me try it again. Like, what did I miss? Yeah. This is really good. I recommend getting it, finding it out there. It is fun. Okay, next one. We got some good fighting games on here, and we're almost done. So we're at the final 5. So yeah, this may not be the best one out of the series, but it's the only one I have of it out of in the PS3, in the PS2 saga, the series. But it's fun. It got all the characters that we really want to play as. That's all that matters. Yes, it only goes up to a certain point, but there's so much bonus to this one than the other ones. This one is obviously a little bit different than the rest of the series. But yeah, that's Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Now, hear me out. Why? This one's a little bit different because it doesn't have, I call it out as it doesn't have the board system, which is okay and all that stuff. But I enjoy, and I know I'm gonna get very flack for it. It's like, that's the best part. I'm like, yes, I know. I have tried the board system before. I remember my wife, she had these long time ago, and then at the time we were just we got married, and then we were like, we need money to get a place, so we sold a lot of our game collections and all that stuff. And she had a lot of bangers. She had a lot. She loves fighting games. She's very much a fighter. We had some bangers, but we sold a lot of both of our collections, so we could have a place. We really wanted this place for our first apartment. So we sold a lot of our games and a lot of our collections, and yeah, she had it. So I have played it before, but just like playing this one is very story driven, or it kind of reminds me of the recent Budokai, Sparking Zero. It kind of reminds me of that one, but Sparking Zero, in a way, it kind of does remind me of that stuff, where it's certain events. Because obviously you start out with Goku, and then after you finish the game, you can go through the list of the ultimate other stories, which is fine. That's fine. You just gotta unlock them all so you can play it. Certain things, and then what if stories, and there's so much packed into this game that it is really fun. The gambling system is a headache. When you're doing the tournament mode, to Mr. Popo's a factory of making sure, trying to find the certain things so you can unlock certain things. It's just like, come on, man. But it is a gambling system, so you just but you can pack a lot of punch into this game, a lot of stuff into it. It's fun. I recommend getting it. The rest of them, they're all, don't get me wrong, Budokai 3 is the best one. I probably haven't played it in a while, but I'm just like, I will probably get it to add to the game collection, to the Dragon Ball collection. So I will eventually get it, but at the moment, this is fine for me. This is okay. We got a lot of stuff already unlocked. It's just like, yeah, I want it. Like, my goal is to finish this Because I've been the main thing is I'm doing the tournament right now, so I can unlock, the greatest, fighter in the world, Hercule, and play his side of the story. Because I really want to play that one, but I'm still working on it. So yeah, this is fun. Top 4 now. I recently got into this about 6 years ago. The first one I ever played was 7. A buddy of mine. We went over to his house. Like we that's the thing about friends that I have, is we got into that's what we like when we all get together. We just play fighting games, man. And I'm working on that one, that fighting. My next video will be the fighting one. But like some of them don't have physical copies, and that's what I'm like. I want to do it. But if you're okay with that, I will tell my stories with them plus gameplay footage, and I will do it that way because I want to tell you my stories about all these fighting games because there's really some really good fighting games, and one sad memory, but luckily, thank God, that it's on the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and yeah, that's I'll tell you that story when it happens, and man, it was so sad, but luckily now. I can download it. I can download it and play it. So yeah. Off topic. Yeah, I love this series. This one doesn't seem like the best one out of the series, but it's fun, and that's Tekken 4. It is pretty good. It's not as 3. It's not as fun as 3. There's so much variety. Like, don't get me wrong. This continues on the story with the Mushima family, is heritage. It's just like, dang, how crazy is all these series? But in a way, it is fun to play. You play as Jin. In a way, it's like you're continuing it on, and then Hihashi is still a dick as it is. So you are playing all this stuff, and then Jin's father. I fucking forget his name. Kajima. No, is it? Yeah, is it Kajima? I'm 100%. I mixed up all 3 names in there, but I know the family, and so I think it was Kajima. I could be wrong. I think it is Hajima. No, Hajima is the dad, the grandfather. Damn, I forget. I'm so blanked out about this. Like I know the story. So it's just like in this one, it's just like. The father comes back to life, and the grandfather is like, oh, dang, no. So in reality, it's like, he threw him, like, the family members just don't die. This is the funniest thing. Everybody's like, they're dead, and then all of a sudden, okay, they might be out for a game, or you can secretly unlock them and all that stuff. They're like, no, they're dead, but if you beat so-and-so will be unlocked. The series is so crazy, it's nutty, and it's so fun that, you look at the story-wise and you go, what in the world is going on? So this is what this story is. It's just like, it's fun. But if you can keep up with it, it very much makes sense. That's the one thing about it. It very much makes sense. Yeah, and we're already up to 8. I started it, and then I remember playing the demo for it, and then just stopped playing, like, I was like, yeah, I'm going to play it. And then it's got really busy. And then, yeah. Haven't bought it yet. Haven't played it yet. I need to buy it, so yeah. But yeah. Not as good as the other ones, but it is a fun PS2 game that I like. Next, we are on to the final 3. And, yeah. This one has so many memories to me. Me and my sister, we would play this game all the time. In my opinion, this is the best racing game on the PS2. Gran Turismo 3 is close, but can you name a racing game that's also a platformer? And you can cheat, and if you're that desperate that you connect into like say you're in second place, you connect, crash and collide together, and then also make it into first place. So this game can be very broken if you know how to use the mechanics right. It is very fun. There's the platforming sections and of the carnival. You can go around collecting it. You know, as a kid, this is the thing I want to tell you. As a kid, the games seemed like they take forever. As an adult, this game only took me 4 hours to beat. 4 hours to beat this game. Imagine that. I remember playing months and months beating it. Months and months, maybe years. You know, we were like trying to unlock everything, get all the collectibles, get everything right. No. It took me 4 hours to beat it, and I'm like, fuck, that is so funny. So yeah, this game is fun. It's broken. Play it. On this other, play it. It is hilarious. You need to pick it up and you need to play it. Yeah. Whenever you can. Next one, we have a double hitter. Which one is the best, in my opinion? These are both from the same series because I love the series. They're growing on me a lot more, and I would. This is the one that was taking me a little bit longer to decide which one I wanted to do. Which one will be, like, they're both fantastic games, and so if the question is which one is better, you know, and I'm gonna say it that, you know, I enjoy both the stories. They're really good. I enjoy the stories. One's a little bit sadder than the other one. One's a little bit goofy. You know, you'll understand it when I say goofy, but you know, it's just the mechanics. They want the person to be like that. They're both in a way kind of like rookies. They're both rookies. You know, they're both rookies on a kind of like special mission. So in a way, they kind of have that same similarity of each other, but you know, one's probably had a little bit more training than the other, but in a way, these were like their big moments out there. But yeah, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna crush a lot of people to put this one at number 2. But I enjoy it. Like, it is fun. Don't get me wrong, it is in the top 2, and I can't wait for the remake to come out. And if you wanted to say remake and you just saw it, Metal Gear Solid 3. It is fun. I love to speedrun this game. It is the most fun stuff. There's a lot of like corniness to it. It has that kind of James Bond's 80s or 60s style to it. Even referencing lots of movies from the original Godzilla to King Kong, you know, David Bowie, you know. Was David Bowie around, like, doing music in this? Probably, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, this, it was like, we're dealing with the Cold War. You're dealing with, you know, Colonel Volgin, a.k.a. Mr. Thunderbolt, Mr. Shock, which, you know, yeah. It is a fun game, and you can get this anywhere. You know. This is a very fun, beautiful game with so much color. Like, look at these manuals, man. So much color, so much fun. This is a very, very fun game to play. Like, you can get it pretty much anywhere now. On Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. I'm so curious about, maybe I should pick up a copy and see how it runs on the Switch. You know, the thing is, just like, I don't want to have multiple physical copies of everything. Then don't get me wrong, I have multiple I have Metal Gear Solid 1 on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I have it on the Xbox. So I have Symphony of the Night the same way on my PlayStation 3, 4, Xbox. You can tell those are my favorite games. Once, like, you can tell that those two games are still. It debates which one I want as number 1. Lately, like, Symphony of the Night is good, Metal Gear Solid is good. So they're both fantastic games that I just jump between on that. In a way, they're both my favorite games. Let's just say that. They're the reason why they're in the top 2, especially. But off topic, but yeah, fun game, very interesting story. The most saddest ending ever, where you have to kill the boss. It's not a cutscene. That thing will stay there until you press the trigger on that, and that you gotta press that controller trigger on that thing. It's like just to get, you know, that thing. So yeah, this is a fantastic game. Pick it up if you can, and it's available anywhere. Pick it up if you want. I love it. This one, the older I'm getting, I remember I hated this years ago. I've told this story many times. It wasn't like a lot of people hated it because you didn't play a snake. You know, you did play a stick for a little bit, so shut up. You can play as him if you want. If you just I got to just play the tanker mission. Boom, boom, boom. You could skip that stuff and then you'd be like, what the heck happened to him? He may have drowned into the ocean and all of a sudden he's back and forth. So just like, what happened to him? And maybe all that water in him made him all pruny. Never thought of that? Maybe he hid into the skies and he said, you know what? I'm gonna make myself pruny, grow a beard, grow a mustache, dye my hair. You never know. He could have done that if you want. But I'm just saying, you never know. But yeah, this is a fun game. It's very beautiful. The mechanics for 2001 still hold up to this game. The story is great. The icon and nowadays of what this game comes out, it is a masterpiece. All the Metal Gear games are a masterpiece. Even if you don't like them, even if you rank them all. Like in my opinion, I feel like not Phantom Pain. Phantom Pain is good. So don't be like, it's the most beautiful graphic ones ever, but it's just a long open world game, and I'm like, I kind of don't really like open world games as much. But once Grand Theft Auto 6, I will play it because everybody's gonna play it, and I don't mind it. So yeah, this game is yes, you play as Raiden, but it's this interesting story. I feel like they wanted you to be the character this time. You're not the ultimate story like in the recent one in Metal Gear Solid. You're not the ultimate badass. All right, you get to play as the ultimate badass for like an hour, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, well, it technically it's not really an hour or 2 hours. Technically you play it maybe like, if you get all the cutscenes out, maybe 20 minutes. Maybe 20 minutes of gameplay of him running around the tanker and all that stuff, but then. Yeah, but if you want to see the ultimate badass for the prologue, yeah, he's there. But then he just becomes a supporting character. But yeah, this is a fun game nowadays. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. Would I recommend the whole series? Yes. I love the Metal Gear series, no matter what. Like, Peace Walker is probably the one of my least one. It's just like, you're not fighting people, you're fighting robots. It's just like Metal Gear after Metal Gear after Metal Gear. These ones, at least you're fighting, people and all that stuff. The other ones, you're fighting robots and all that stuff, but yeah. Okay, and that's that. So yeah, this is my PlayStation 2 collection. And in a way, it kind of is. There's a couple of more. My collections are not as huge as they used to be. I'm getting older, and I like to play the games that I want to play. Not, oh my God, I want this to show off. No, these are the games that I want to play. If I have maybe 10 games, those are the ones I really want to play because I want to play them. There are some that I want to give it a try, and if I don't like it, no. But these are games that I could sit down and play from start to finish because I enjoy them. Fighting games, first-person shooters, or friends come over and friends and family want to come over. Racing games, yeah. Then there's a lot of story. There's a lot of story games which I enjoy playing by myself. But yeah, that's my collection. It's fun. Thank you for watching. I will continue on with other things. What is this? I'll continue on anything. Oh yeah, Alien Color. Don't judge. Me and a buddy love this game. We're just fans of Aliens. So even if it sucks all that stuff, who cares? First person and also a first person. So I got some stuff coming up. First person shooter, top 10, and fighting game coming up. So yeah, thank you for watching and have yourself a good day. Bye.